You are now tuned in to your number one radio station.
We interrupt this program for a special report by WKMU.
Staten Island, New York. Good morning, Earth. It's time to get up.
Rise and shine.
This is What Keeps Me Up at Night podcast coming at you in the morning time. Or whenever it is that you're listening to us. We don't judge. Today we'll be talking about mental health because it's Mental Health Month.
I don't know if you knew that yet. I didn't know that until you told me.
Yeah, it's a topic that I actually have been wanting to talk about for a long time.
Yeah. If we don't talk about it during Mental Health Month, then when are we going to talk about it?
Well, I'm always talking about it. I'm just talking about it now to you guys listening in. And you'll keep hearing me talk about it because I want to break the stigma. I think a lot of us suffer in silence, and yet, if you're around me, it's just not going to happen. You're not alone. I'm here for you.
And if you listen to other of our podcasts, we do a little conspiracy theories, aliens, and other stuff like that. But we want to touch on a little bit of Van Gogh and the strange circumstances around his alleged suicide.
Yes.
So let's get right into it then.
Let's get into it. According to the World Health Organization, 1 billion people suffer from mental illness worldwide.
So that's like 1 in 7 people, right? Aren't there like 7 billion people
in the world?
Yeah.
Probably. I feel like the number is not high enough. Around like 60 million, I think, in the U.S. is like how many people suffer from mental illness that
I think
we know
have like
of.
350 million in this country. My facts could be a little old, but yeah.
I don't know. It's like 1 in 5, which is like kind of believable. I'd still, again, I feel like it should be more.
That seems more than in the world average, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe it's because we have more resources to know that it's mental health. Like if there's a country out there, third world country, who doesn't have the resources to let alone take care of themselves physically, let alone mentally.
Well, yeah, there's people who, like, parts of the country where nobody believes in, like, mental health. Like, they, you're probably possessed or something. It has nothing to do with the health of your brain or,
Yeah,
like, they don't believe. Like, because, now we know that mental health, disability in your mind, is the same as having, like, a broken leg or an arm. Like, it still stops you from functioning, like, to your full capacity. And, I feel like if some of us got help, which is either medication or talking to somebody or just even exercising your brain, like, producing naturally these, like, chemicals.
Even physical working out.
Yeah, like working out actually creates like a painkiller to your body. It releases this thing called like endorphins that like lowers the pain that in your body. Like it's so crazy to me that you can like naturally produce that. I thought that you had to take ibuprofen to stop feeling pain, but like yeah.
Yeah. Next time you complain of a cramp, I'm gonna go tell you take a run.
Actually, yeah. It's funny that you say that because there's like other things that you could do to release other like chemicals in your brain that help make you feel happy, which is like, would be going for a walk or something like that. And it releases serotonin, which I get really confused between endorphins and serotonin.
Yeah, I still don't know what the difference is.
I don't know. Endorphins is like for pain, whereas serotonin is more for mood. And and like apparently like eating and stuff like that helps with serotonin. So I guess that's when you like eat something, you do a little happy dance. So that's like your serotonin kicking in. I think I have like a lot of that one.
I get like that when I get some chocolate.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's actually really good. So you do know the difference.
Well, no. Like if you ask me to say which one is which right now, I probably get only endorphins, which is a pain relief.
Mm.
But serotonin is mood, I guess you said.
Mm-hmm. And then we also have like dopamine, which is like a reward system from your body. So when you complete a task and you feel like really good about it, that's your dopamine levels going up.
Oh, like when you make a schedule for the day or for the week, or like, oh, I want to do this by 3 months from now. I want to lose 5 pounds.
Yep. When you finally get there, you feel like amazing, and that's your dopamine levels.
So the bigger the reward, the bigger the the dopamines.
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, I would think that's how it works because like listening to music is like one that helps with dopamine.
Yeah, becoming like the Super Bowl champion, I feel like would feel way better than finishing a book by the summertime
probably.
is over.
Well, I don't know. Actually, that's like a good experiment because it depends on the book. I think I like to read. I don't know.
I think if you ask Aaron Rodgers if he'd rather win the Super Bowl or read a book, he'd probably pick the Super Bowl.
Well, which one's more politically correct?
There's no political correctness in this. You're such a millennial. So
I'm pretty sure politics are tied into everything.
Adding stuff to the pile that doesn't need to be there.
It's all tied in.
Did it get political yet? It's going to be.
Listen, we're going to talk about it one day. Conspiracies. But yeah, and then the one that everybody knows is Oxycontin. Oh wait, oxytocin.
Yeah, I love me some Oxycontin. I broke my hand one time. They gave me that stuff. Like, yeah, they put a needle like a foot long. No lie, the needle was a foot long. I broke my wrist actually, and because you can't see it, but my wrist is basically in like a 90-degree angle. And they come in with the foot long needle and they shove it into the bone in the wrist. And they're like, this is going to hurt a little bit. And they fling my broken wrist backwards, my hand, and throw it backwards to set it.
Holy cannoli.
And if that's how it felt like when I had drugs, oh man, that was, my mom heard me screaming from the waiting room down the hallway.
Oh my gosh.
If you're not up yet, you are now.
Gosh. Oof. Okay.
Try hitting the snooze button now.
They're up. They better be up.
Did you know anybody who had problems with mental health?
So myself, but I
know that person too.
Yeah.
She crazy.
I actually had a friend who took her own life, and at the time we weren't talking. I forget, like it wasn't even any hostility, just people drift, and we stopped talking. And apparently she was seeing a therapist for a while after her like husband had passed away, and then she stopped seeing her therapist, and soon after that decided to take her own life.
What she did in a crazy way.
I'm not gonna get into the details of it.
All right, but that was crazy.
But I think that for a long time I was really hurt because I wish that I had known and that maybe I could have talked to her and like we would have maybe like smoked up together and just maybe it would have made the difference. And I know that I'm, now I'm like coming to terms with it and just accepting that
it's not your fault.
That she probably would have done what she was going to do anyway.
Can we give like a little background? And I don't want to get it too deep. And if anything, I'll just edit it out. But it's basically how I felt it was that she had like a soulmate that she was looking forward to living life with. And when she lost him, she kind of lost the will to live. And maybe in that part, maybe that's why, there was nothing you could have done because you can't bring her husband back.
Yeah.
That was never going to change.
And I'm somebody who believes that soulmates are meant to be together, and when one dies, the soulmate soon dies afterwards because they can't live together. Like they just can't be without the other, and I find some comfort in that.
Yeah, I'm not promoting suicide. I'm just saying also that I feel like she was going back home. You know what I mean? She was going to see her soulmate again. So it's like
maybe
there's no real reason for you to like. Of course, you're devastated and you could feel bad about it, but you're only one person. You can't save the world, but you can save. You save the people who are there to be saved.
We really don't know what would happen. you know, she kind of took that chance away from me. And I guess it's me being like selfish, but I just really hope that from now on, I can be there for people. And
Yeah, you learn from the lessons of life like this.
yeah, like I don't think that I could keep living how I was, kind of like very selfishly. Just I isolated myself for a long time. I still feel like I isolate myself, but I'm really trying to break out of it.
Well, it's hard. We live on Staten Island. It's like we live in Bajo Land. It's like there's nothing around here. Like it's kind of like the country in a way. Like we live in
Yeah, but
like
that
a
doesn't
small
mean I have
community.
to isolate myself.
No. What I'm saying is, I feel like it's a little easier to isolate yourself. Like, and it's hard to isolate if you, especially if you kind of want to go out. You could go out and there's people, there's places to go, like right down the block. Because sometimes you don't feel it in you to maybe go for a long walk. So you want to go short one and see some of your people or see some of the sights of your neighborhood. Here it's a little harder because, we have to walk at least 10, 15 miles to even see 15 minutes to even see a store. So it's a little easier, I think, for me. I'm not saying this is you. Because I also isolate. I'm saying for me that I feel like it's easier to isolate because it's like our community is isolated.
Yeah. I'm talking more of like emotionally, like
Yeah, I know.
you can still
I don't.
keep
I
in
don't.
touch with people.
No.
Like even if you live in the middle of nowhere.
No. I'm not saying that. I mean, I'm isolating myself physically. I'm saying it's easy to isolate yourself emotionally because you are physically isolated.
Okay.
It's like like being on an island with no phone. Like if you had your phone, you could still get out in the world and stuff like that. But like when you're like, that's a bad example. But you know what I mean? Like to me, it's a little easier emotionally because it's like, well, especially during COVID, there was no place to go. We were in this small apartment for 2 years. And that was kind of tough at times too. I remember one time you yelled at me, "Why are you always home? There's no place to go."
Yeah, COVID was rough.
But I'm glad that I got to spend it with you.
Me too.
Yeah, I got to spend it with the best person for me. Like, and it's funny because I feel like you rubbed off on me and I rubbed off on you. You play Rocket League, but I watched different shows. We went to counseling. We both realized that there was things about ourselves that were like, oh, let's, maybe it's better that we do talk to somebody about this. It's hard though, because I find it's very hard to actually find a therapist that can motivate you the right way. I don't mind a little firmness, but I've had therapists who were just like, oh, because I was late. She wanted to talk a half an hour. I was late for 5 minutes. Like, bro, that's most of my time. And you just belittled me about being late. And I didn't get to talk about any of the stuff that I wanted to talk about. The stuff that's actually really bothering me. Like, do you even know why I was 5-10 minutes late? One time was because some dude kicked the tree and got smacked in the face because he twirled around. Like, that was a little bit like, oh, oh my God, what did I just see? And I got like stuck there for a little bit to make sure he was okay and stuff like that. I missed my train. Mm-hmm. And, it's like, that gets me a little bit. Like, I just saw a dude. I don't even know if he was like surviving or not.
Yeah, that's a really bad example. And like, I don't hope it doesn't discourage anybody from seeking a therapist. To be honest, I never saw a therapist in person. I always did it over the phone or through like video chatting. And I feel like that helped me a lot. Like if I think like a big reason I avoided therapy was the physical showing up. Like I couldn't do it. But if I could like be in my pajamas and talk to my therapist, that works for me.
That kind of makes sense that you're in your own zone, you're in your own clothing, and it's comfortable clothing. So you kind of sit there and just kind of like meditate, but like meditate with somebody talking to you about what you're feeling.
Yeah, she was really great. Because it wasn't even like initially we had to talk through video. It was like at first it was always over the phone, and I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I had one like, and yeah, don't take it. Don't take my story as like, oh no,
it's recording, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
At 13 minutes right now.
Oh, okay.
I had a therapist who was awesome. He knew how to push me because I'm very strange and like I don't like to be told what to do.
Mm-hmm.
especially without explanations. And I feel like he did a good job of explaining why I'm doing things. I'm not a child. You don't just say, "Hey, don't touch that." Like, well, why am I not touching that? Do I get burned? Does something bad happen? Like,
Yeah.
and so, like, why I bring them both up actually is like, if you feel like the person you're talking to isn't like your bestie, and that's not a bad, I don't mean like that deep, like bestie, but you know what I mean, like someone you're comfortable with, that don't make you feel weird, that you can open up to easily.
Mm-hmm.
Keep them, and if you feel like you're very, like, even after a couple weeks you can't, for some reason, just can't talk to them, there's no shame in changing. Hey, do we have someone else I can speak to? No offense to you, but your style doesn't really clash with my personality. And it's like, like the training that we get from jobs and stuff like that. It's like some are visual learners, some are learning by doing.
Tactical.
Yeah, some you could just tell directions to.
Yeah, auto.
Yeah, and so I liken that to like that. It's like, if you're not teaching me at the way I learn, then you're not going to teach me. And I'm just going to be frustrated, and I'm going to think this is a waste of time.
Yeah, because I think therapists are supposed to teach you things. You're supposed to feel challenged and learn from the conversations you're having with that person. Like, with my person, when I used to go to therapy, I stopped going. I do want to go back, but I just think that I'm like working on my own stuff, in my own way. But
how's that working out though?
Good.
Then why are you shaking your head no at me?
Because I don't know. I feel like you're trying to act like I need to go to therapy.
No, it's just, if we're going to talk about mental health,
like,
I'm just
lately,
touching on your mental health.
You kind of make little comments to me, and I actually, it's not really super appreciated.
That comment wasn't a comment that was like attacking. It was a legit asking, how is it working out for you? I'm not trying to rub your face in something. I'm actually genuinely asking about your mental health. Is it working okay? Do you think it could be better? Or do you think that maybe you should, see therapy again or talk to somebody again?
I don't know. I think lately I've been fine. So.
All right. I'd like to point out, though, I feel like somebody who would be fine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but it'd be so a little defensive. I think is the right word.
Okay.
Yeah, I see that. Okay, that's a defensive. Okay. Well, when we get off air, we'll talk about this more. But yeah, I think maybe it's not a bad idea to maybe even if you want to try the same place again or change it. That's my always. If you're not comfortable, just change it up.
Mm-hmm.
But like I know the benefits, and like I want to do the same thing. So I'll even I gotta find the right person too. I don't know. Yeah, see, now I sound like you. And if I sound like you, then I probably should talk to somebody.
Yo, whatever, man.
Isn't that what this is?
Anyway.
There's no shame in talking to somebody.
Of course, yes.
All right, so, yeah, all right. Let's do it.
So, what I was going to say earlier, I think what I was going to say earlier is that sometimes when you talk to people, to a therapist, so this is the difference. A lot of people are like, well, I can just talk to my bestie and I'm going to be fine. Or I'm going to just talk to my local bartender. They'll, if I need to talk to somebody, I can talk to them. But it's not the same thing. Like, when you talk to somebody who's educated and like sees what you're going through, and like, I don't want it to sound terrible, but like labels you, it really, really, really helps you. Like, to be honest, I feel like I was crazy for a long time. And I use the word crazy not to be like offensive to anybody, but I really felt like I was losing control of myself. And it was like really weird. And when I spoke to my therapist, and she told me that I had what was called dysmethia, something like that. And it's like a long-term mild depression. So it's like something like, so it wasn't like severe depression. It was mild depression for a long time, and it like affects you in like a lot of ways. And I didn't realize it.
That's like having like just a sore knee. Nothing crazy, but that sore knee stays around for months. Even if you can handle it someday it's going to get to you.
Yeah, it'll like affect your mood, and you're going to snap on somebody or something, like,
Yeah.
And then we realized that I also...
Not to discredit your pain, like, as it's like a lightness, but it's like...
Right, no, yeah, it was like a mild... I felt like it was a great description of what I was going through. It wasn't... Not to say that was what I was going through at that time, but as a kid, because I spoke to her but I was 27 years old by the time I started talking to a therapist. So it was a lot of years of like stuff that I was talking to her about. Like we would meet up twice a week because it was so much to go over. And I needed it. She knew that I needed it, and I really appreciated her being like, "Okay, so we're going to talk again in like 3 days." So it's like, "Okay, cool. Like I would love that. Like thank you. Like I need that." Like I'm actually tearing up right now cuz it was like when I finally got the help, it was crazy. It felt I cried every session. I cried.
Yeah, therapy would do that to you.
It was crazy. It just felt like I'm being seen. I'm getting the help that I need, and like,
yeah,
it was nice. It was like crazy. Like,
I remember one time, it was a spot we worked together in Brooklyn, and I just saw my therapist, and I came in, and I was a little sensitive, and you're like, "Ooh, why are you so sensitive?" It's like, yo, bro, like talking to
therapy, yeah, it opens like this Watergate.
Yeah, it's a little bit like a slight sunburn. Like it's there. It's like it's raw.
Yeah. So, we also realized too that I was dealing with like abandonment issues, and
I could have told you that for free.
What? This guy keeps attacking me, man.
Not attacking you. Knowing you is not attacking you.
So it was weird though because you think of abandonment issues like, oh, she grew up without her dad, or like her mom was absent, and like no, like that wasn't what I was going through. Like I grew up with a mom and a dad. I think that like I had like a special circumstance where like people who were supposed to be a big part of my life left me, and so it just friends? Like I'm talking about my sister. I do. Looking back,
who you are if you're listening.
Looking back, I was like abandoned by her. Like I didn't have a sister. I was supposed to have.
That's like how it felt to you, yeah.
I was supposed to have somebody who was there for me all the time, and I didn't. And like she's supposed to be my role model, and she taught me who not to be. Like that was what I had growing up was who not to be.
That's good.
Yeah, I made it a positive, but it was like hard. Like everybody had their sibling that they would, oh, I gotta call her right real quick, or oh, let me get her to come get me, or like something like that. And I didn't have that.
I was that. I didn't really have that either. I was that. Like I got jumped because my sister Emily, she got into with a bunch of like classmates of hers. This is like when she was in first grade, and so I was like third grade, and I had like nine freaking first graders coming at me like at the same time.
I'm really worried. Luckily, there's no recording.
Damage. I know what I'm doing
because it doesn't look like the lines I usually see. That's why
I understand that. Can you trust me?
Yeah.
Okay. Look, I'll show you right now.
Okay. Thank you. I was just worried.
Yeah, we'll leave this in. So you all can see how crazy she really is.
Yo, whatever. They're gonna see how you are.
I still love you, and you still love me, right?
Maybe.
We're there for each other. That's another important thing. It's like, is tools. You say like, oh, like, why is it talking to this person is better than talking to like your best friend? It's like, because that person comes with tools. Like, you don't ask your friend to fix your toilet. They don't got the tools for that.
Yeah,
they don't got the tools to deal with your crazy ass. Like, so it's like, and then they give you the tools to do it yourself.
Right.
So that's also important. It's like, for all you who like, oh, why is it so important? I think the best reason is those instances where we fall off and we do the things that we don't like and get angry and everything. It's like, well, if I knew I was getting to that point, maybe I could have stopped myself.
Yeah, my therapist helped me come up with ways to realize that I'm getting angry. And because that was my issue. I know like everybody has their own thing. Me is like I get angry and then I want to like destroy you. Like so, and I didn't like that. I don't like that. I'm not that person.
It wasn't
it
fun.
Sucks like that. I saw, you saw that side of me, and but so she taught me, whoever's listening, she taught me like, where do you feel your anger? And for me, it was like my throat. She's like, oh, some people feel it in their stomach or like their head.
Yeah, I feel it in my
or
temples.
Like stuff like that. Yeah, I feel it in my throat. And if I'm getting angry, I feel it in my throat. And I'm like, it's like interesting too, because
a physiological cue.
Yeah, I think that like I felt like I was silenced for a long time. So when I feel like the anger comes from my throat, it makes a lot of sense why it comes from my
Because you want
throat.
to scream everything out.
Yeah, like it's just I never had the words, and so it was like weird. But yeah, so it was like we came up with a safety plan based on that. So if I start feeling like angry, like the feeling in my throat, it's like okay, let's breathe, like let's walk away.
You're like even deal
You
with
know,
your sister
figure
a
it
little
out.
bit too.
Yeah. So I realized too I have an issue with drinking. Like if I'm drinking, I kind of things go to like another level.
Yeah,
And so
honestly, if you're out without me and I don't get a phone call from me for hours, I know everything's good. But if you start calling, oh my god, it's gonna be some stuff. You're gonna be like, those jerks, they left me. Oh, I did this to them. It's like, oh my god, so dramaful, bro. I can't stand my sister did this.
and by then I'm too many drinks in.
Yeah,
So I had to
start
figure out.
spiraling.
I knew that if I was gonna be hanging out with my sister, I needed to limit my drinks, and that's been helping me. And
Yeah,
so it's something that we should all think about.
it's like your drinks give you spider sense. Like you take an extra sip, you're like, and then you can feel it in your arms. Oh, I'm getting agitated. Okay, let me.
Yeah.
All right, enough sips for now. I'll come back to this in a little while.
Yeah, nah, it's more like, oh, I'm gonna have 3 drinks, and if everything's going all right, maybe I'll have one more, but then that's it. I'm going home. So like I had a time, like 11 p.m. I'm going
Oh,
home.
so if you're having a good time, you're probably drinking the drink slow.
Yeah, no, it's more like I already have a preset plan.
I guess what I'm
So
asking is,
even if it's good or bad,
do you drink the drink slow though? Like if you're having a good time and you're like, hey, let this last for another hour, do you go like slower so you don't go through your drink too fast?
I think I definitely slow down my drinking. It's just that lately I haven't been having issues with my sibling. So it's been like I haven't had to use my safety plan, which is actually pretty dangerous. And I think the next time that I hang out with her, I'm gonna kind of like have a plan in motion. But lately I've been able to, if I started getting like a little angry, I'm able to like articulate myself pretty well with her. Um, cause yeah, I know last time we hung out, she was kind of getting at me because I wanted to go home to my animals, and she thought it
Yeah,
was
she's a mama
stupid.
bear.
Like she thought that it was. She's just like, oh, you should go out and have a good time. I'm like, I did go out and have a good time. Now I want to go home and have a good time. Like, and I am. I'm very attached to my animals. They
Me,
help me with so much.
me also, Reina.
Like people don't give
Did I
credit.
say that right?
My
My bear queen, my
something like
queen bear, my
that.
queen bear. I think that's
Yeah,
what I meant to say.
I don't know. I think that like my animals help me get through things a little easier.
Yeah, the emotional support.
They really are, and like it's crazy. Like
All right, we do have 4 animals, but like what's crazy about that is like each animal has its own personality. So depending on what you feel, like there's an animal for it.
yeah, that's a good one.
Like I think if you're sad, Jack is great.
He's the best.
Like you're sad, he'll come over and lay on you.
He's like a cheerleader and a cuddle bug.
If you need to pick me up, it's definitely Gene.
Gene, he's like this like delicate little cute thing that like he'll let you hold him and stuff. So it feels really nice, like to hold this like really cute thing, and he's so tiny and like adorable.
And then with Tina, I feel like when I'm angry, I like petting her because it's like she purrs so loudly, like it's therapeutic.
Tina, what I like about her is that she usually does her own thing. She don't want to be around
So
you.
independent. She's my favorite.
But when she comes around and gives you attention, it feels like, wow, I'm worthy.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not worthy.
Like, what? You like me? Like, wow. Like, because she's so pretty, but she's very like, don't touch me. But
Yeah.
then when she wants you to touch her, it's like, oh my God, thank you.
Yeah. What is it? I call her regal. She's very
Yes.
regal. Like,
Yeah. I call her my velvet queen sometimes.
yeah. And then the big guy, Rocky, he's good when, um, like not like sad, but definitely like maybe melancholy.
He's
Like,
just always all around good because he's just like a goofball.
yeah.
And he just wants to be near you too. So it feels really nice
Yeah.
to
I woke
have
up to his
like
butt in my face the other night.
yeah. Like if you're chilling, he's chilling too, and it feels like a vibe.
Yeah, he's like that with dogs too. I've noticed. Like the dog comes up and he's all like chill, he'll be chill. You get one dog that he can feel like, oh no, you're gonna jump at us or something. He goes crazy.
Yeah, he definitely bugs out on people.
And now over to a little bit of our What Keeps Me Up format. We're going to dive into a little bit of Van Gogh and some of his mental health issues and what ultimately led to his death. Take it away, Blue.
All right. So, Mr. Vincent van Gogh was born March 30th, 1853. He was one of 6 siblings. He was really close to one of his brothers, and yeah, I guess the reason I thought about doing like a Vincent van Gogh segment is because a lot of people their favorite painting by Vincent van Gogh was the Starry Night. And a lot of people don't know this, but it was painted from the view. He was inspired by the view coming out of his window in the psychiatric facility he was in.
That's crazy. I didn't know that at first.
Yeah, he actually had a lot of mental health issues like his whole life.
And then it seemed to get like worse towards the end.
Yeah, so he was admitted into this asylum, and that's where he went on to paint 150 paintings.
Oh, including Iris, right?
Yeah, the Iris. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. That one's one of my favorites. Yeah.
I prefer Starry Night. Yeah.
Yeah. So like a lot of things about Vincent van Gogh are like wrong. Like people say that he chopped off his ear and like mailed it to somebody, like a mistress or something like that.
A maid in a brothel.
But yeah, he actually only chopped off his earlobe and he gave it to her. I don't know. I don't really know why he gave it to her. Like, I don't know if him being like, hey, don't worry, baby, I'm going to come back and pay you. like
I owe you.
You know, he's kind of like, oh, I have to come back for my earlobe. Like,
yeah,
you know,
ear is worth like $10. There's a secondary theory to that he actually got into like an altercation with a man and they wound up dueling a little bit. And he sliced his ear off. And this comes from letters written to his brother, Vincent's brother.
Yeah, Theodore.
That they don't want to talk about it no more. Like, it was done, and I think maybe this new thing came out of it as a way to cover it up. Like, hey, I don't want to talk about it. So, oh yeah, I just gave it to a maid at a brothel.
Yeah, they're like, where's your ear now? Like, where is it? He's like, oh, I just gave it to some random lady.
Yeah, and then some of the skeptics say, well, where's the real hard proof? And it's like, well, the letters that they wrote say it. Like, why would, like, I don't understand. Like, that isn't that proof?
Yeah. Like, why would somebody lie in a letter to their brother? Because you're assuming no one else is gonna read it.
Yeah,
so.
He doesn't think he's gonna become so famous that someone's reading his letters like 100 years later, and be like, oh, look at this. He told his brother he sliced it off. I wonder if he's writing code. So right. We don't know.
Yeah, it's so messed up. It bothers me so much that he didn't pop off till after he died. Like, it really bothers me.
Yeah, it started that trend of like you don't really get popping until after you die.
Yeah, so not funnily enough, but like the way that he died is a conspiracy too. Like I don't know, a lot of different websites say different stuff. Like he shot himself in the stomach, somebody say like his chest. But a lot of people apparently according to evidence, the hole isn't like big enough to even be a self-inflicted wound. Because I guess anybody who tries to off themselves is that way, like, that's it. You're doing a lot more damage than, like... So Vincent shot himself, apparently, and then walked back to his hotel, and then died, like, 30 hours after that.
Yeah, and his last words to his brother was, I want to die this way. No, I want to die this way. Something like that.
Yeah, a lot of people had, like, different, like, what is it? Different depictions of events, and yeah, but a lot of people were like, oh yeah, he's like, oh, I just want to die. Like, this is just the way.
Yeah, I think that they're misinterpreting the way he's saying things. And I think because of where we first found out about this was from BuzzFeed, was it Unsolved Mysteries or something Mysteries?
Yeah.
With Shane Madej and Ryan, what? Remember his
Ryan Bergara.
And so that kind of got us interested in this too. And yeah, they're the ones who I take the information from, where it's like he said to his brother, no, this is how I want to die. I want to die like this.
Yeah.
And because it was weird. Why would you shoot yourself? Because didn't he bring his artwork up to the place where he shot himself?
Yeah, so he went out to a field with a bunch of his artwork, and yeah.
Well, and there was corroborating witnesses who saw him go up to the hill. I think it was a hill, and didn't they also say that his painting stuff was gone after he shot himself?
Apparently, according to that BuzzFeed thing, yeah, like nobody was able to recover his artwork.
Well, the gun supposedly, where if he shot himself, should have just fell right where he shot himself.
Yeah. A lot of different people like have different stories like that one of his friends, artist friends, they knew that he was trying to like kill himself and they saw him shoot himself and he was like his friend was trying to revive him and he's just like, "No, you know, I'm okay. Like if you save me, I'll just have to do it all over again." Like at this point Vincent was like determined to kill himself.
People?
Apparently an artist and a friend of him who got there went to his funeral. This was somebody telling a story, trying to get attention, right?
Yeah, it's like, oh, well, I tried to save him. He couldn't be helped.
Yeah, but then,
because a lot of information that I think they're pulling from is from his brother's view of things.
Yeah, I was gonna say that Theo himself said that Vincent wanted to die, that he kind of felt like people who do commit suicide, they do feel like it's like a relief. And so he actually said, la tristesse durera toujours. It's like the sadness will last forever. And I guess Theo understood what he meant by that. Like he can't get over his despair.
Yeah, and then the theory comes about basically because there was a group of kids who like the leader always had a gun at his hip, like some kind of like revolver, and apparently he accidentally shoots Van Gogh. That's what, and that explains why you can't find the gun.
Yeah.
Or the
his art
stuff, and it's funny. It's just weird. I'm losing my track a little bit because there's so much I wanted to get into. Now I'm trying to forget it.
No, yeah, these kids used to bully Vincent, apparently. Yeah, and they saw him in the field, and it was just a regular day of, like, making fun of the crazy guy.
And we're not saying that he shot him on purpose. It could have been quite by accident, because after that, he was never seen with a gun again.
Yeah.
Like, it was never at his hip again. And that's why, like, if he says to Theo, "Oh, no, this is how I want to die," I think he's saying it like, "No, I don't want to tell on them.
Right.
I just rather die like this. Like, oh no, yeah, I killed myself. This is how I want to die." Like basically saying, yeah, but ultimately saying, "No, I'm not going to rat him out."
Maybe Vincent was like one of those people who wanted to die but never thought about doing it themselves, and so then this was like the opportunity, and he's just like, "Theo, like this is what I've always wanted." Because I've heard theories where, or like, while doing research, that Vincent would never commit suicide, that he was against suicide.
Yeah, I heard that a lot too.
So I wonder if he was suffering, but he had like these morals or whatever, and so this was his opportunity.
He did like a death by cop, like suicide type thing, where it's like he provoked them, and then they shot him, and then he didn't want to snitch on them. He's like, "Well, I couldn't do it myself, so I'm just gonna say I did it."
No, it's kind of like falling into like an ocean and not really bothering to swim to the shore. Kind of like, oh, guess this is how I'm gonna go. Because suicide by cop is like that's a little premeditated. Like I think what happened to Vincent, if it was these kids, he was kind of like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go then. Like I'm already hurt. I'm gonna let myself die.
Oh, well, then couldn't also been like he agitated them to shoot him. This way he didn't have to do it himself.
Maybe he could have seen the kid with the gun and he was kind of like, "Hey, you look stupid."
Yeah, they always make fun of him. He's like, now he sticks up to them like, "Yeah, what are you going to do about it now? I'm standing up to you." And then that's why he's like, "Nah, they did me a favor. I wanted to die."
In a way, it could have been.
Wow,
it really could have been. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know.
We solved it.
That's it.
No more mysteries. We solved all of them. Job well done.
Yeah. Good job, everybody. All in a good day's work.
You think that's good right there? We can leave it off here?
Yeah. Yeah, or just that Vincent didn't really leave a suicide note or anything.
So. Yeah, that's another weird thing too. But how common are suicide notes?
I don't know. I haven't really looked in.
I'm gonna Google it real quick.
Yeah.
Well, keep talking. Keep the airway.
I don't know. I guess apparently a lot of people leave suicide notes. So.
Yeah, like how prevalent is it?
The chick from 13 Reasons Why left.
Oh man, I read that. I think I read that. Right? No, I didn't watch it. What am I looking up again? Notes. Oh, how often are there suicide notes? Yeah, only 25 to 30% of suicides are accompanied by a note. So I guess it's not that weird that he didn't leave one.
33%?
25 to 30%. So that still leaves like 70%. I don't like those odds. I wouldn't take those odds in in betting. So, that's not so weird that he didn't leave one. But like, I don't know. This was just like today's numbers. Maybe then it was different back in the day. It was like, well, let them know. Maybe they don't do it anymore because it's all like through texting and they leave a suicide blog.
Voice note.
Yeah. Like didn't they do that in 13 Reasons Why?
She did. She did the tapes, yeah.
The voice message.
She did 13 tapes. And yeah. Honestly, that show, she did have a lot of great reasons to want to like harm people. But it sucks that she turned it around and put it on herself. Like, I'm glad we're actually talking about this because I think America has a real big issue with mental illness. And I think that's why a lot of school shootings are happening and like shootouts in general, like mass killings are becoming a bigger thing now. And we're not really like talking about it, like what's leading up to this, the steps happening before this. It's really messed up. Like that might have to be its own show on its own because like America, we're not looking good. And I don't know.
Yeah, I guess we could even start at Columbine and then go through maybe Sandy Hook, and then do some like lesser known ones. But I think on that note, we're gonna cut it out to the outro.
All right, guys.
Thank you, everybody. This has been Sky and Blue on no, that's right. It's Good Morning Earth by What Keeps Me Up at Night. And Blue, why don't you tell them where they can find us?
All right, guys. You can find us at Evidence Room on Facebook, Evidence Room 23.
The Evidence Room, sorry.
On Instagram. What Keeps Me Up Nightly on TikTok. And then What Keeps Me Up at Night on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Stitcher,
Google,
iHeartRadio, Google Podcast,
Pandora,
Radio Public,
Audible,
and of course Anchor. Shout out to y'all.
I like Anchor. And that's been Good Morning Earth, mental health. There's no reason that you shouldn't be able to feel comfortable with talking to somebody about what you're going through. And if you're not there yet, you'll get there. And just take those steps. It can be very helpful. So as always,
make sure you get those happy hormones up and make sure you check on your friends.
And everyone deserves love, even you.
This concludes our broadcast day. Good night, and God bless America.